also have some people who might not be our partners yet, but I did invite a couple people from outside our area to kind of be there. I think this is an important conversation. It's something that you have a lot of value to bring to the table. So I hand the mic and camera over to you, computer. You share whatever you need to share. If you want to do it more interactive, where we talk and back and forth ideas and stuff, that's also a good idea. If you have a presentation, go for it. Either way, the mic belongs to both of you because I said Rob, but we all know that the brains behind the operation is actually Brittany.
Thanks, Eli. I appreciate everybody stopping by today to give us your just your time to listen to our perspective. We are not going to be sharing any kind of slideshow or anything. It's just going to be interactive, just us chatting. If you have any questions, please feel free to jump on in and ask. Like I said, I think we can all learn from each other. I don't claim to know everything. I think if you do, then there's huge issues. I think we can all learn from everybody, and I think this is going to be really good in this meeting. So the topic today is value proposition and what we bring to the table as agents to our prospective clients. From day one, when I got into the industry, we looked at it, and I think everyone's heard that buying and selling a home is probably one of the most stressful things that you would ever go through. Would everyone agree with that?
Agreed.
Yeah. Coming into it, though, I disagreed with that. Because in my mind, in my little simple mind, if I'm buying or selling a home, I want to be excited about it. I don't want to be stressed out about it. And that's where we come into play as the industry leaders and experts in not just real estate, but in our area, right? So in starting this business, that's exactly the mentality I came in. It was like, why is this stressful? Why are our clients not excited about what they're about to jump into, whether it's selling a house to upgrade, whether it's sell a house to downgrade, whether it's buying their new home, whatever it is, they should be excited, not stressed out. So how can we as industry leaders take that stress off their shoulders and make this a more enjoyable experience for them? So when I got started, I started thinking, okay, what else can I do for them? We're asking these clients to invest in us. Why don't we invest in them as well? So I will say this, and this is not to brag or pat myself on the back or anything, but I truly believe, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, when we step into a listing appointment, 98% of the time, we're walking away with that listing. Okay. I think the 2% that we end up losing typically is because they know somebody, either a best friend, a brother, sister, cousin, whoever it is that they feel obligated, they need to go ahead and get that listing with them. And 9 times out of 10, they call us anyways at the end because something went awry and they didn't get what they thought they should be getting out of their agent. So what do we bring to the table? Well, what are those aspects that truly make, let's say, selling a home stressful? You have to pack, you have to get your house ready, you have showings, you have all these different things that are weighing on your mind, not just selling the home, but also getting things ready. So if y'all don't mind, I'm going to give you a quick listing presentation. When we walk in, what's the matter? What you guys?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Quick listing presentation of what it is that we bring to the table, and you pretend you're the seller, and you tell me if there's anything else that we can bring or that you can incorporate into your business to go ahead and help those clients out. So when we first go in, obviously we do the same thing as everyone else. We run our comps, we take a look at the numbers, we make sure that we price that home correctly, because we're going to have to deal with the appraisal at some point in time, usually within 3 weeks. And that's what we tell them. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we want to make sure we price your home correctly, not the very top to go ahead and knock out a lot of our buyer pool. We want to price it correctly because we want to go ahead and entice as many buyers as possible to come on in. Once we've done that, and once we've agreed on a number and they know how much they're going to net at the end of the day, or what we estimate they're going to net, then we jump into how we're actually going to help them. How are we different? Because every single agent can do that. Every single agent can run comps. Every single agent can put a sign in the yard. Every single agent can put it on the MLS. But what's going to make you different than everyone else? So first and foremost, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, as soon as you sign this contract, we're going to deliver a stack of boxes to your doorstep because you need to start packing up. You're ready to sell. You know, we need to go ahead and get these things packed up. What is that costing me? Very little, but it's giving them a convenience, right? And you can even take it one step further and get pre-printed boxes with your labeling on it. Because marketing, it comes down to you want your name and your face and your number and your brand in front of them in as many ways as possible. Every time they turn around, we want them to see you who you are. And not just that, when they're moving, they're going to have their friends, you know, helping them pack, helping them move. So every time they carry those boxes, whose name do they see? We want it to be yours and stick in their mind, right? So boxes, they're not going to the grocery stores and going all this different stuff to find boxes on their own. We're bringing it to them. So, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, as soon as we bring you those boxes, our professional stager is going to be contacting you to go ahead and set up a meeting. And she's going to walk around this home as a potential buyer. She's going to view your home through the eyes of a buyer and tell you exactly how to get your home ready to go ahead and bring in as many buyers as possible. That in itself is gold. Okay, because you need to set this house up to attract as many buyers as possible. She's going to go through the whole home. She's going to go through and take pictures of every single room. She's going to tell you how to decorate or how to set up your house to get it ready to be put on the market. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, once you do that, and once you read this report, and once you go through the whole report and do what she's asking you to do, and keep in mind that what she's asking you to do is just a recommendation, but it's a huge recommendation. We recommend you do every single thing on there because that's what's going to garner you top dollar, and that's what's also going to sell your house as quick as possible. So there's going to be items on that list that are going to be decorative items. You may or may not want them. So we're not asking you to go in and invest in that and go buy these different items. Just do as much as you can, because as soon as you finish with that list, Brittany and I are walking in the home right afterwards with our cleaning crew, and they're going to clean your house from top to bottom. They're going to deep clean it. Take that off your shoulders because you have other things you need to do. You're thinking about shopping. You're looking for your new home. That's what we want you to concentrate on. Let us take care of all the details. Once you do all that, you get it all deep cleaned, then we're going to come in and we're going to make a list of all the items that still need to be staged. If you have an empty room, we'll bring a bed. If you need a couch, we'll do that. We have all these items already. We stage your house completely. As soon as that's done, now our photographers are going to come in. Now you've packed a bunch of boxes. So if your home is overwhelmed with staging stuff, well, we also offer you our free moving truck. So if you need to use our truck, feel free to use it. It's usually a 24-hour block. You can use this truck to use our free storage as well. We'll invest in you and give you 2 months of free storage to put all your things away while we're shopping for a home, if need be. Now, once all that's done, our professional photographers are going to come in, take pictures, but we take it one step further. We also have a giraffe that does a virtual tour of your home. It's called a giraffe. It's the same thing as Matterport. So we go through and we do a virtual tour of your home. Why is that so important? Because we have people all the time coming in from different states. They want to make sure they can walk that home. If they can't be physically, we want to make sure they can walk that home completely. So once they do that, then we put you on the market. Usually we go on the market on Thursdays because people usually shop on Saturdays. And statistically speaking, they say that homes that are listed right before the weekend sell quicker. So that's what we do. So that is basically what we bring to the table from the very beginning. Now, once we have you under contract and we're getting ready to close, about 2 weeks before closing, our utility concierge is going to call you and help you transfer your utilities, because who wants to sit there for hours looking for, who's going to service that new home that you have. So let us take care of that for you. You still have access to our truck, because as soon as closing happens, if you want to use our truck to move to your new home, you're welcome to do that as well. So that's pretty much it. Now, you as a seller, if you had this value proposition placed before you and you're going up against other agents, even other seasoned agents who don't offer nearly as much, who do you think they're going to go with? Yes, it's a little less money out of our pocket. In our pocket once we close, but we're literally putting our money where our mouth is. We're investing in this agent, in this client, to do what we have learned will put their house in the best light, to sell it quicker and sell it for top dollar. So once they see that we're truly investing money in it, it's a no-brainer to them. because we're invested. We want to make sure the houses get sold. We're not selling for, you know, as little as possible because we're truly, we need to make our money back. So that's what we've done. And every year we try to think of what else can we do to make your life easier. That's what kind of sets you apart from thousands of agents that are in our area. So I'm not telling you go out and invest in a truck, you know, or all these other items, but think of the little things that if you have purchased before, or if you have sold before, that you're like, man, on top of work, I also have to do this and this and this. You know, if it means a couple $100 out of your pocket, so be it. You know, invest in that client, because at the end of the day, they're going to be screaming your praises, because now you've made this stressful situation a whole lot more enjoyable. They can focus on moving on to the next home. They can focus on shopping. They can focus on doing everything else and not worried about all little mundane tasks that are included in selling a home. So I don't truly believe that this is earth-shattering information. It's just us going a little step further, you know, to help our clients in the long run.
But with that, so this year we're about 90% listings. We have all listings. I felt terrible talking to the TC. I was like, I don't have buyers, but I have listings, which is where I would prefer to be, you know, to be a listing agent over buyer's agent. But
Well, the model also says that if you want to be successful in this industry, you should concentrate on sellers, because once you concentrate on sellers, you should pick up at least 2 buyers from your sign calls. So when you focus on that and focus on learning how to win those listings every single time, then your business should completely grow from there.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and maybe I missed this part because I jumped on a few minutes late, so forgive me. But if by chance it doesn't sell, or they decide to pull it off and not sell, do y'all have something written in the listing agreement to help y'all reincur your costs?
Absolutely. So we do have that conversation with the very beginning and say, listen, you know, there's times where we may choose that we're not a good fit for each other. So because I'm investing in your home, sometimes up to $1,000 before your home even hits the market, we're going to put in a contract, say, if for whatever reason you've decided to either pull it off the market or go with another agent, that we're going to ask you to reimburse us, and we're going to give you receipts for all the things that we have done to set your house up for success on the market. And we're asking you to reimburse us that.
But I think that's only happened once in the 10 years.
Yeah, in 10 years that I've been in, it's only happened once. And she was going through a divorce and they decided to get back together. So I usually don't have any issues, because once they see how much of a hustle that you're putting into it and how much you're truly investing, they're your biggest cheerleaders. And once they close, they're the ones screaming from the rooftops that you have made their life easy and that you're basically the best agent in the area. So, and it's just a little bit of extra work that you're putting in on your end, a little more of investment, just by thinking of what is it that they need, or what can we do to help them make their life easier.
He says it's just a little bit extra work, but I do all the staging stuff. Like I deliver it all. So
I carry it. You go and say, hey, put a couch here, do this, do that. Guess who's out there with a truck and moving these things around because it doesn't fit in her SUV?
It's a group effort. It's 50. I love that. Hey, so this is a weird, just kind of random weird question, but how do you choose how many boxes and what size boxes you deliver? Like, is it just random? Do you have a package? Do you customize it to the family or to the house?
That's actually a great question. So we've done our research, and it shows that medium-sized boxes always work best because they stack better and they're not too light and not too heavy. So if you go with these large boxes, you have to think about the families, you know, that are carrying these things. So if you get a big old box and you pack it full of stuff, chances are you're probably not going to be able to carry it. So medium boxes are the way to go.
I think our boxes are 18 by 18 boxes. We had custom printed ones. COVID put a delay on all of those, and honestly, I got lazy and I need to make another order.
But you can go to Lowe's and get them $30 and you have 25 boxes, which is not a big deal.
It's about $50 for 25 boxes. There's also companies that'll drop ship them with your custom printed stuff. It's about $100 and they'll ship them straight. And I can send you the information on that. That's one that I was looking at switching to, because literally as soon as your client signs, you can order it. They print them and they send them straight there with tape, packaging. I mean, everything. And then you don't even have to drive over and deliver them. We used to say to our clients that we'd give them 25 boxes or 30 boxes. And honestly, if my clients, usually if we drop them once, they don't ever ask for them again. But if a client calls me and says, hey, we need some more boxes, I can guarantee you there's never been a time where I was like, no, we only give 25, so I'm not going to give you more. What's another $50 when, you know, our average sale right now is about around 350. So I'm going to make 10, 12,000. I can give them another $50 worth of boxes, you know, if that's what they want.
But not just that, because it's not just the commission we make on it, it's the referrals they're going to give us later on. Like I have a few clients now that have sent us all their family. So we've gotten 3, 4, 5 sales from one client based off of just the service that we've given them. And one of these particular clients was even skeptical to hire us. They had already been with 2 other agents before, and they had gotten burnt. They had bad just service, and they just didn't trust realtors. We come in, I'd give him my spill. He took a chance, and now he himself has sent 4 of their family members already.
So that's the Navies.
Then yeah.
So yeah, the husband, when we walked in the door, sit in the back like this, like he was just like not having anything to do with realtor, and now they're really great friends of ours after their transaction. But about the moving truck, you know, I know that was something that people had a lot of questions about. We bought a moving truck 4 years ago. We got a used U-Haul truck, had maybe, I don't know, quite a bit of miles on it, but we had it checked out by a mechanic friend of ours, had it rewrapped.
It had just under 100,000 miles for a moving truck. They said it was actually not bad.
So there's a couple of places that will sell, you know, U-Haul trucks. We've had it for 4 years. Our biggest challenges with it are the catalytic converter gets stolen. Quite often it's about $1,000 every time they steal our catalytic converter. We have a deal with our local storage. They let us keep our moving truck there, and then they give us units for our clients at a discount, and then we keep all our staging stuff there. So we have everything all in one spot. But I'll say about the moving truck, the greatest compliment that we had, we did a Christmas parade one year. And so we're all in line with all of our parade floats. We have our moving truck lit up like Dallas.
This is when we were back with our old brokerage.
So we had it all lit up. I mean, it was covered head to toe in lights. And one of the other agent calls and she's like, I'm really mad at you guys. I'm like, what? She goes, my client called and asked for your truck.
She's like, can I use your truck? Like, that's Rob.
Clients asking her to use a moving truck. She's like, yeah, you'd have to go with Rob. You know, that didn't happen. But you know, it was pretty great to see that people were interested in using the moving truck, and it was ours. So we do park it around, and clients and friends will say, hey, I saw your truck in LaPorte. Hey, I saw your truck in Houston. Hey, I saw it in Galveston. Like, it's all over. We want it being used.
It's a rolling billboard.
We have options. We have some people that we traded out services for to put advertisement on the back of the truck to offset some of your expenses. Like I said, we traded out with storage for our free storage facility space for us, and the pool cleaners. We have different things that we traded out, but you can rent the advertising space on the back and then to offset it. And we pay, the only expenses really we have for the moving truck anymore, because we paid cash for it, was the insurance, and it's about $250 a month for insurance, then storage wherever you store it. There are companies that you can buy a moving truck, lease a moving truck through them. They handle all the rentals, all the maintenance, all the insurance and everything. With that, it costs about $1,200 a month. And that was back 5 or 6 years ago when we were looking at getting a truck. I don't know what it is now, but it was about that $1,200 then. We calculated up that over the 5-year term, we were going to spend about $70,000, $80,000, and we wouldn't own anything. With our moving truck, we spend about $2,500 to $3,000 a year in insurance, and we paid $10,000 for the truck, $4,000 to wrap it. So we spend about $5,000 a year on our truck. So over the term, we spent, you know, less than half, and we own the truck. Whereas the other way, we didn't own it, and we just dropped 70 grand. So it just depends on you and, you know, what makes sense.
And keep in mind, again, like I said before, it's a rolling billboard. So if it's just stationary, it's not helping nearly as much unless you have it in a high vis area. So what we do, if I got to go to Smart or if I got to go to Lowe's, guess what we're taking? We're taking a truck, you know. And there's times where I'll just park it at Walmart for an hour, because they kind of get privy to that and they don't like you just staging stuff there. So I'll go park it there, go have lunch, then come back around and pick it up. So that way, again, it's all about marketing and people seeing your name and your brand. I mean, when I first got in, I used to say I want to be the McDonald's of real estate. You know, when you say I want a hamburger, the first thing that usually people think about is McDonald's. You know, and the reason they do that is there's McDonald's on every corner. Every time you turn around, you see those golden arches. So you have to think of the same avenue when it comes to marketing yourself. You have to have your name and your brand and your face in as many different methods as possible so that you become that trusted source because they see you everywhere, not just on signs, but I mean, house signs, but on everything you can. So
we did have a deal with a business at the corner of I-10 and 146 that they let us park our truck there until they sold out to Chipotle and we lost our spot. But we used to park it right on the corner of the main road and everybody could see it. So it was a great spot.
Quick question. Do you guys, so when you give boxes to clients, is it always brand new boxes? Like you don't recycle these boxes?
No, we don't recycle
we
them.
don't recycle.
Okay, so it's always
And
brand
here's
new.
the thing though, they do, you know, so especially when we had the branded boxes, then we'll see them on there like, who needs boxes? So even for people that are moving that don't need a realtor or they have another realtor and they're using our boxes, you know, I love it. You know, that there's a Rob Roca Realty group going around and they're using another agent for whatever reason.
But we
I-
have clients' houses and they have boxes stacked in the garage and it has our logo on the side of our boxes in their garage. So when their friends come in or whatever, our name is there with the logo.
I actually listed a house with Andrew Pykoff boxes inside the house.
Oh yeah.
He does the same thing, and I listed a house once in somewhere in Montrose or something. And when I went inside, the sellers were packed and ready to go, and is Andrew Pykoff boxes everywhere. I called them, hey, nice boxes. But it does happen. You're right. Because I was thinking, you know, Fox Inspections in Houston, they offer moving boxes for free. I don't ever seen that. You can borrow boxes, and they're just random boxes from everywhere. And I'm like, you know, that's something that maybe I would do if I was in your position. If we started doing moving boxes, like, hey, when you guys are done with the boxes, there are other people that might use them. If you don't need them, don't throw them away. Just give them back to me. I wouldn't give them to my clients that are listing with us, but maybe that's something you could offer to the community. Like, hey, if you guys, anybody needs moving boxes, we have moving boxes. You can use the used ones for more marketing. Just thinking out loud.
I like it.
I like that idea. Absolutely.
Question. I know you mentioned you still list about 98% of your listing appointments that you go into. So for that 2%, when it's not that they have a friend, what other objections are you receiving, even though you're providing all this value? What other objections are you receiving? And then number two, is how do you use this to leverage when somebody wants to discount your commission?
So that's usually the biggest obstacle is discounting your commission. And keep in mind, it's a business decision, right? So it doesn't hurt to ask because there are agents that are going to be out there. But I always start off with, I'm already investing in your home. So, you know, show me another agent that's going to invest up to $1,000 on your home before we even put it on the market. Secondly, you know, we don't discount our commission because we work really hard for the money that we earn. But keep in mind that if we discount it right off the bat, let's say hypothetically we did, and there's an issue at the end of the deal where we have to help out, if I already given you money, then we're capped out, and that could definitely cost you a sale. So we like to keep that money in reserve in the event that we ever have to use it. It's there, and we're all willing to help, but we're also putting a lot of effort into your home to get it sold. So keep in mind, you do get what you pay for. So also learn about your competition. So there are discount brokerages out there. So I have gotten their business model.
So the same client he said that was skeptical about us. No, I'm sorry, it was their neighbor. One of their neighbors was going to list with a discount broker. They have a $3,000 flat rate listing fee, and their goal is to pick up the buying side.
They don't care how long
they
it's on
don't.
the market.
Yeah, they don't care. But we came in with our numbers, with our goals, and you know, we ended up getting their $380,000 listing. So you know, they paid 3 times as much to list with us, and we still got their listing because we came in with numbers. We didn't come in with a price reduction plan. I don't have a plan. I don't have a set. You know, after 2 weeks, I'm going to reduce X amount of dollars. We play that by ear, looking at judging the kind of traffic we've had, the feedback we get. But I mean, up until, you know, recently, we very rarely drop our prices.
If you price it correctly, you shouldn't have to drop it. So our go-to is never to drop your price, you know, because if you've done your job from the very beginning, then you shouldn't even have to cross that bridge, right? Unless we absolutely have to, but very rarely have we come across that. So again, what I was saying before is learn who your competition is, and these discount brokerages especially, what are they offering you for their money? You know, they may be listing your house for $3,000 or $5,000, but what are they not doing? And this particular one, they don't do open houses. They don't reach out to other realtors. They don't do all these different things that a realtor should be doing to promote a listing. So that's why you're paying less, because all they're doing is put a sign in your yard. So learn who your competition is. So
we had a lot of, not pushback, but some other realtors were saying how there's no value in, the market was so hot in 2020 to 2022, basically. Why would you waste your time staging your homes or doing professional photography when it's going to sell anyways? True. But if you make it the most appealing as possible, yes, we put a little bit of time and energy into it up front, but the better we make it look, do you think that you're going to garner more responses? Would you want to have 3 offers, or would you want to have 12 offers? And with that, you get to pick not just the highest price, like the highest value contract, but you get to pick the best buyers too, the most financially stable buyers too, which lends yourself to having a better transaction, less busted files, less problems down the road, because now have an assortment of offers to evaluate versus just taking the one offer we got. And so, like I said, there's another agent that he doesn't think that, staging and any of that stuff is really that necessary. He'll just list it as it is and throw it up there and call it a day. But we usually want to give our clients, the most amount of money. And it comes down to the client too. Some clients don't want to do anything. And in those cases, we always tell our clients that it's totally up to them. Everything that we're offering is to garner them the most amount of money, but it's up to them what their goals are. If they don't have time and they don't have energy and they don't want to do it, hey, that's totally on you.
Even if they don't care, they might say, it doesn't matter, just sell it for what it is. And even then, there's still things you can do on your own to still make that home look a little better and still be able to market it better to still garner more value. Just a quick case here where we just recently had a home where we're selling it as is. Guys like, I don't care, I'm not doing anything to it, just the way it's coming, the way it's gone. So I walked in the house, I was like, so have you taken everything out of the house that you're gonna take out of the house? He's like, yep, what you see is what you get. Like, you got it. So still got the photography done, still went in there. We took an hour out of our time to go in there and clean the house up. Just picked it up. And we ended up getting 38 offers on this home, ended up selling for $30,000 over what we initially offered it for. So again, it's just a little bit of effort. Is that little bit of effort worth, 1, making your client more money, and 2, making a higher commission, and 3, getting the referrals, because now you've just changed their life by making them more money by putting in a little bit of effort on your time. So all these things go a long way. And just, we're in an industry right now, and I hate to say it this way, that has a lot of lazy agents. Don't be that lazy agent. Just go that extra mile. Do what you would expect if you were in their position. What would you want from that agent to help you? Put yourself in their shoes and do that, because it's going to go a whole lot further. You may net a little less, but at the end game, you're going to make a whole lot more.
So we also don't do I don't do any paid advertising. We don't buy leads. All of our business is 100% referral based. So I don't have any lead sources that I get from anything. Awesome. So we put our money back into our clients, not into purchasing leads.
Does that answer your question, Ela?
That's sorry. A good pitch. That's actually a good pitch right there. We don't put money into advertising, put money back into our clients' pockets. Ooh, dang, that's good. This is awesome. I appreciate you guys for spending this half an hour with us and sharing so much value. This is definitely a lot to add to our business. I took a bunch of notes myself, so I will be taking this back with me, implementing some of this stuff. Anybody have any questions, comments before we get off the call, before Rob and Brittany go? Any questions?
I have a question.
Awesome.
I have a question. This is Francis. So as a newer agent who doesn't have the volume to be able to do all this, what would you suggest starting out?
So you can still think outside the box. Again, obviously you want to lead with revenue, so you don't want to have to spend a whole lot of money. But again, boxes don't cost a whole lot. And even if you can't purchase boxes, go find the boxes, or use, talk to Fox and borrow theirs. Set yourself up with success to where you're offering your client as much help as possible, of what you can have now. And as you gain sales, my suggestion is to reinvest into your business.
So
You know.
we started with the boxes, then we moved to the cleaning, and some of those came out of necessity. We would have clients, we'd be like, you give them a list of these are the recommendations of, getting your house ready to be on the market, and make sure it's clean and tidy and packed up and different things. And different people have different expectations when it comes to cleanliness, I would say. So we started offering, clients cleaning services because, if your house is dirty when you walk through, buyers pick that up and they want to know what else that you didn't, take care of if you can't even clean the house. So we had a client that we asked them to have it clean because we kept getting comments that the house was filthy. And so that was our feedback in the very beginning. And so I went to her and I was like, hey, let's, the feedback is that there's dog hair and there's all these different things. And so I came back and she goes, okay, I cleaned everything. And I was like, oh. And so I didn't want to have those type of conversations. So we had a deal with a cleaner, and for $150, she would come in and clean our houses. And so for me, it was worth not hurting my clients' feelings for $150 to have our listing show significantly better by doing some little things. So we would add things a little bit as we would go. But again, like I said, thinking about things that you can do to get things off your client's plate, the staging and not paying for staging. There's staging classes that you can go through. And after looking at the MLS, there's a lot of agents that just don't know what you should do to sell a house. And once our clients go through it and they've experienced the staging, they pick apart every listing that they see. When we go look at homes, they pick them apart and say, oh my God, if they would have just done this, or they would have just, this house would have shown so much better. And we go, we know. But
that's a good point. Take those classes on your own, and that way, that's how I started as well. Just kind of staging it myself and putting that home in the best light. And walk with your photographer. Please invest in photography, and walk with your photographer as you go into every room and look at it before they take those pictures and fix those pillows. Take off the things from the counter. They don't want to see your dishes or your soap. It's attention to detail all the way through, and walk with them. And I just put it this way: train your photographer. Because some photographers take pictures the way you have it. So we would walk through every single one. So take that, and like I said, after every sale, just reinvest in your business little by little and kind of start working your way up.
And we pick our photographer because they will make those adjustments. Like they'll stop and say, hey, this is looking bad in a shot. Can we move it out? And so, who you work with matters. I have one photographer who's like, I don't care. If your agent didn't care, I'm going to shoot it just like I see it.
And also, one last thing on that, just to answer your question, we're in a relationship game. Okay, we build relationships with our clients. We'll build relationship with your partners as well, your business partners. So maybe at the very beginning, maybe a cleaner, or maybe a photographer, and say, listen, I'm just getting into this. Would you be open to doing the house cleaning or doing the photography, and then I pay you at closing? Maybe if you can develop that relationship, there's someone they're going to do that for you, and then start saving up, because you're going to have another one. So just put the money in the bank. That way, hey, next time around, I'll have this. So just kind of start building towards that. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
So I was going to say, Rob, to add to that, I was going to say too, even moving boxes, like I would call moving companies in the area, like Clear Lake Movers in Houston, see if they have boxes, and see if in exchange for you marketing their business in your listings, like in your listing presentation and in your website and posting about them on Facebook, they'll let you have 25 boxes in exchange for referring them to this listing. Like you're gonna say, hey, Clear Lake Movers is actually going to provide 25 boxes. You don't have to use them, but if you could at least give them a 15-minute for a presentation, they'll show you what they can do, how they can help you. Do the same thing with cleaners. Hey, if I promote your business in my Facebook page, will you do this cleaning for $80 and I pay you at closing? Do the same thing with photographers. I think it's leverage the community you have. Rob and Brittany do it with their moving truck. Hey, if you maintain our pool for a year, I will, I'll market your business in our moving truck for a year. If you give me boxes, I'll promote your business. People need promotion. Restaurants will do the same thing, if you, for gift cards and different things you want to do for your clients. So it's all about thinking outside the box. Obviously, not all of us can afford to buy a moving truck, but maybe we can afford $50 for a 24-hour rental in U-Haul. Can Absolutely. You pay for a U-Haul for your client? Your client is the one that their insurance is the one that covers it. And you pay for it at closing. Once you close, we'll cover, we'll cover the U-Haul, and that way you can negotiate a 3-day lease back to give you time to get your commission and then pay for the U-Haul moving truck. And these U-Haul companies, they're usually small franchises owned and managed by somebody who lives on the property, usually a family. Go talk to the owner. Hey, what can we work out? I'm a realtor. I want to get you referrals. You know, what can I work out? Can I open up an account, you know, where we put something on the tab and people take it and then I'll pay you when it closes. Just talk to people, build relationships, call 20 movers and see which one will work with you. Obviously be careful referring people, make sure people hire their own people. You don't just tell them use these people, you know, interview three movers and let them decide. But there's definitely ways to leverage your community. Sorry, I wasn't trying to hijack your presentation.
Now get creative with the way you do your business. There's so many ways out there, and I'm glad you said that about the U-Haul. You can get a gift certificate. You know, you don't own a moving truck, that's fine. Put that liability on someone else. If you give them a gift certificate for a moving truck, that goes a long way, because it's one less thing they have to do on their own. So, you know, if you can't get a truck, get a trailer, get a box truck, get a box trailer, wrap that. That's less liability there. You know, so again, just kind of think through and see what you can do, what you can offer in your business that's going to help your client. That's always the first question is, how am I helping my client?
Awesome. Brittany, if y'all can go back on the integrity group later on in the next few days and post all the links for the boxes and any ideas or anything you can share, that'd be great. For those of us already in our network, we can have access to that stuff. Again, like always, this recording will be available in our Trello, in our Trello, and we'll also put it in our group. So appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much for this. If you have any questions, hit up Rob and Brittany. They're always very available.
Happy to help. All right, y'all.
Bye.
Thank y'all.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.